There's a lot of young players on the squad, and it's important for them to take these next 4 games and to play as well as they can play, and especially the St. Joe game, use games like that as a stepping stone to get ready for next season.
That's right. It's very important if IPFW gets any sort of lead tonight that Eileen Kleinfelder, who is also a first-year coach here at IPFW, and I'm sure we'll see that she's given a lot of players an opportunity to play this season, and I know she wants to let Lisa Miller and Shelly Sands and some of those play as much as they can, being that this is their last couple of home games, and since there really isn't a career for women right now outside of college basketball, that she wants to give them their chance to shine. And but we need to see some of those younger players in here and let them end up the season on a good note so that when they come back next year, they're really fired up and ready to go, and we can really see what kind of a season they can turn out, without the Lisa Miller and Pam Edwards and those players.
You might mention Coach Kleinfelder with the team now 18-6. She set a record of her own by being a first-year coach and winning her 18th game. That's the first or the highest total by a first-year coach at IPFW since Kirk Kavanaugh had 17 wins back in the 82-83 season.
And there's Eileen right there. And, Pam Edwards, she's only a junior this year. I don't want to get rid of her any sooner than we have to. She will be back and definitely probably be the team leader next year as she tries to bring up these younger players. And, I really can't say that they haven't played well this year. Jamie LaRue and Amy Perkins have been in a lot. Michelle Conley has seen a lot of action on the floor, and they've really come through. They've been able to give these starting 5 some rest on the bench, and Eileen's been able to really come down with her bench, bring them out on the floor, give her starters rest, and without worrying about losing points and the other team running up the score. They've really played well as a well-rounded team, and I think we'll see a lot more of that tonight. And it looks finally like our clock is ticking down to 35 seconds, and in just a few moments here we'll be ready for the starting lineups tonight's match.
And we expect to see a slight change in the lineup tonight. Dawn Dressler moving into a starting slot. I believe she started at least one of the games on the road trip, and she'll take the slot that Amy Hogan had been starting for most of the season. But we'll know for sure when they announce the starting lineups.
That we will, because we don't have those ahead of time tonight.
Indianapolis is led by Lori Morgan, a 5'10" junior forward, averaging about 14 points a game. Of course, Lisa Miller, the leading scorer for the Lady Dons, at about 26.
Well, we're going to send you down to the floor right now for tonight's starting lineups, and then we'll join you back up here as soon as we get ready for the opening tip-off.
First, the starting lineups for the visiting Greyhounds of Indianapolis. At one guard, a 5'5" freshman from Anderson, Indiana, number 10, Melissa Graham. At a forward, a 5'10" junior from Covington, Kentucky, number 20, Lori Morgan. At the other guard, a 5'5" junior from Remington, Indiana, number 42, Sandy Hare. In the middle for the Lady Greyhounds, a 6'1" junior from Logansport, Indiana, number 34, Courtney Sands. And at the other forward, a 6-foot sophomore from Holland, Indiana, number 54, Sam Finham. Head coach of the Lady Greyhounds is Chuck Mallender. And now for your IPFW Lady Dons. At one guard, she's a 5'7" freshman from Fremont, Indiana, number 20, Jamie LaRue. At a forward, she's a 5'9" sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 22, Dawn Dressler. At another forward, a 5'9" senior from Huntington, Indiana, number 35, Shelly Sands. In the middle for the Lady Dons, a 5'11" junior from Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 43, Pam Edwards. And at the other forward for the Lady Dons, a 5'9" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 24, Lisa Miller. Coach of the Lady Dons is Eileen Kleinfelder.
is in street clothes on the bench, so she won't be starting tonight or playing in tonight's game either.
Well, we just found out the condition and the reason why she's off the side, and Tina Manier got a concussion during the Ashland game, and so that's our starting guard. And I was wondering, it was a real interesting starting lineup to find out that Jamie LaRue, freshman, is starting this evening, but she's been doing very well for Tina coming in and out during the season. So now we know the reason, and that makes a lot of sense. Also coming in, like you said earlier, is 22 Dawn Dressler. So we'll see what happens as IPFW will start off with defense tonight. And Indianapolis looking inside, but they take the shot from the point. No good, and that shot was missed by Lori Morgan.
And Morgan's the player for the Lady Dons to key on tonight.
Pam Edwards already with a hot hand from the top of the key tonight. 2 points for Pam. So it's a 2-0 lead, IPFW, very, very early in the first half. Indianapolis having a hard time trying to look inside, but there's nowhere to go as Shelly Sands and Pam Edwards have been able to shut it off. And Morgan tried to go up with it, but Pam got a hand on the ball.
Another block for Pam. She's had a great season blocking shots, too.
Pam's just a very crucial player, inside and out on offense and defense. And there's another shot, and that one rolls in. And that's a good start for IPFW to get a couple baskets on their first 2 times down the floor. They have had a few problems with that in the first period of play, trying to get down there and get their offense going right away, but so far so good tonight.
Well, sometimes it seems like the Lady Dons like to get the down low offense going first.
And that was a shot by Sam Finneman.
Makes it easier for Lisa Miller to get her act going once the defenders have to worry about Pam down low.
That's right. Shelly Sands turns, shoots, no good. Rebound Lady Greyhounds, but she stepped on that line. That's right. And the Dawn is excited about that. We're always glad we have the Mastodon out here, and we also have the IPFW band who have assisted all of our games so far this season, and it's just been really nice to see the support this year. Lisa Miller inside, doesn't fall, and the Greyhounds come up with the basketball. Sometimes it takes Lisa a while, but like you said, if Pam can get rolling, it's all the better. There's another basket by Finneman. If Edwards can get rolling and anybody from out of the point, LaRue or Shelly Sands, that just really opens up Lisa Miller, although she found that opening on the baseline, drove in.
Yeah, she'll be shooting 2 here.
She'll be shooting 2. She's fouled by, I thought it was number 34, and it is Courtney Sands. So we have a Shelly Sands and a Courtney Sands out on the floor.
We've got 2 Millers out there also.
That's trying to confuse us here since it's been a while since we've been back with you. Been on the road for a while. I'm glad. I think the ladies are probably really happy to be home tonight.
It's 1 away from a record for Lisa Miller, her first point of the night.
And she gets both of those, and it's a 6-4 lead, IPFW. And they find Finneman inside again, and she gets the roll. They were doing a really good job the first couple of possessions for Indianapolis of shutting her off and not letting her go on the baseline, but she's basically found her way down there the last 3 times, and she has all 6 points for Indianapolis. Lisa Miller, and that's somebody they're going to have to try to shut off right here, because that's who they're looking to get it into, obviously. Pam Edwards making sure to deny her the ball. She gets it anyway. No good.
Nice rebound.
Almost over the back there as Finneman tried to grab it over the top of Pam's head. I think she has a little bit of height on Pam. Finneman's 6 foot.
Nice rebound and back up and in by Dressler.
Dawn was our Lady Dawn of the game in our last time we were home, and that's been a while. But she played an excellent game for coming in, and she said she's really gained confidence in her shooting and her abilities on the defense and understanding the system that IPFW has this year. And obviously she's done a good job away because she had a starting position tonight.
Well, she can play inside and she can play guard, and she'll be probably one of the candidates to kind of take the role Lisa has now, an inside and outside player. I'm sure that's the type of thing Coach Kleinfeld will be looking to develop over these last 4 games as well.
And Jamie LaRue gets a couple points on the board. Lisa Miller got the ball inside, and I really think she expected to run into a lot of traffic. She put it down the floor, turned, and was wide open. I think that's why she missed the shot. Had someone been there, it would have went right in. But Jamie LaRue was on the other side to pick up the rebound and put it back up and in for IPFW. And they lead by 6 now, their largest lead of the first half, 12-6 with 16-17 remaining.
The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW sports telecasts. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to College Cable Access Center at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805-1499. Or you can call at 481-6582.
A bit of timeout here as Indianapolis is sure that they do not want IPFW to run away with this one this early in the ball game. So they need to get their thoughts together and find out what they need to do on offense to make sure that they score, and then on defense to make sure that IPFW doesn't get that second basket, second chance at the basket.
So far, the only thing they've had going is they've got Pam playing behind Fenneman, and if she gets help fronting Fenneman, it'll be a little difficult for the inside offense for the Lady Greyhounds to work. And then we got to be concentrating on number 20, Lori Morgan.
Yeah, Lori hasn't gotten going yet this evening. Like we said, Fenneman has all 6 of Indianapolis points.
But she has a couple of the assists.
And Pam Edwards ends up with the rebound, and LaRue goes diving to the floor.
Fumble.
And the Lady Greyhounds will take their turn to bring the ball down. There's Morgan, and she doesn't get the roll. But she gets fouled, and she will go to the line.
Nice transition bucket there by the Lady Greyhounds. Take a look at that again. Kim just a little out of position, slid over too late and caught her on the arm. Fortunately, the ball didn't go in the bucket.
Matter of fact, I didn't even notice Kim got into the ball game on us there.
What happened at the timeout?
Okay, Lori sinks the first.
Her first of the game.
And she hits both of those, so it's a 12-8 ball game. Jamie LaRue to set up the IPFW offense, filling in for Tina Manier. Lisa Miller looks, finds Pam Edwards, a hot hand, and she doesn't get the roll this time. Kim almost knocked the ball out to Dressler, but it's a fast break. Number 42, Sandy Hare, loses control, but it went off IPFW and will remain the Greyhound basketball.
Nice play by LaRue to catch her from behind and not foul her.
We'll see a lot of LaRue. We've seen a lot of her this year, and I'm sure next year we'll see an awful lot. There's a three-point attempt by Melissa Graham, no good.
Nice rebound by Lisa Miller. Jamie LaRue possibly could play the whole game tonight because there's really only 2 people up. Well, I guess we have a third point guard, Amy Perkins. I'm sure we'll see Amy a lot tonight, too.
Lisa Miller drove to the basket.
And guess what? She got fouled.
And she was fouled. Number 20, Lori Morgan, picks up her first foul of the ball game. And Lisa Miller will be at the line shooting 2. And 2 more towards making another record, and that's the first.
But she needs 6. She's halfway there.
She needs 6.
This will make 4 of those.
And you're right on that one. It's a 13-8 lead. Coming back in the ball game is Shelly Sands.
Kim Recker comes out. And a little full court pressure by the Lady Dons.
IPFW's been pretty successful with their full court earlier this season. They've caused a lot of turnovers. There's a nice basket by number 34, Courtney Sands.
The problem with that is you've got to get back, and they didn't do that.
I tell you, Courtney had a nice long reach there. She found the basket. Lisa Miller double team, gets it away to LaRue. LaRue finds Sands underneath the basket. And Pam Edwards is going to bring it back up and have it set up LaRue looks for Dressler. Dressler shoots
Nice
and
drive.
scores. And that's some confidence in Dawn Dressler that we had not seen early in the season, and probably just in the last 6 games has she really come along offensively for IPFW.
I think Pam may have got a piece of that ball too. Good defense on her part.
Well, she's everywhere under there. I definitely wouldn't want to play down and post up against her because she'd always have a hand in your face.
There's a turnover.
Or in front of you or against you or something. And Kim Recker's coming back in. And Shelly Sands is going back out. And I'm not sure there. Shelly's really puffing out. Maybe she has a cold or something and is going to play short durations tonight. Or maybe Kim's going to come in and out and try to learn some things that she points out, has Shelly go in and has Kim watch. But we'll have to find out for that. Oh, Jamie LaRue a little upset with herself. She had the chance to pick up that ball and instead it rolled off. And
they had the play sealed off pretty well.
coming in for the Lady Greyhounds is number 22, Kathy Miller, and she replaces Lori Morgan, who really hasn't done anything. She had a chance at the free throw line and sunk a couple free throws for the Greyhounds. But other than that, she hasn't had much of an offensive end of the game so far. They get it inside to Finneman.
Blocked
I'm sorry.
by Edwards.
That's Sands. Finneman, Sands, they look a little different. I just haven't gotten used to them yet, but we'll make that correction.
It looks like great rebounding position tonight so far by the Lady Dons. The Greyhounds are only getting one shot.
Inside to Recker. Nice play by Lisa Miller. Lisa has you can tell that she's the senior player on the team. If the shot's not open for her, she will find the open player, as she did there with Kim Recker. And the shot was stripped from Courtney Sands. Jamie LaRue finds Lisa Miller.
What a feed.
That's a bucket for Miller, but you got to definitely give that one to LaRue, because without that feed, she wouldn't have had that basketball.
How did she see her?
I don't know. She definitely threw that through traffic. And a two-point shot was no good, and we're going to have a traveling call.
That was one great assist by Jamie LaRue. The Lady Dons definitely have the offense going early in this game. Even without their starting point guard, things are working pretty smooth right now. Only one turnover. Okay, maybe two right here. I think Jamie, every once in a while, is still suffering from that ligament damage in her wrist she had earlier in the season.
There's a bucket by Edwards. Pam finding the open end underneath. As we were talking about IPFW's great rebounding skills, well, that is one of their many rankings in Division II, and they rank 12th in the rebound margin. So that just shows that they do get a lot of offensive and defensive rebounds. Lisa Miller drives the baseline. Hand's hammered, and I think she likes the floor. If Lisa's not on the floor, it's not a good game for her if she's not being hacked.
Here she comes. There's the feed by LaRue, and bang.
Finneman caught her on the arm. So Lisa has an opportunity right here to tie, I guess, or does she need 6 to break it?
If she hits these two, it'll be 6 free throws.
And she will break the Division II single season record of 222 if she hits both of these. And there's the first.
Should I go ahead and pencil in the second one here? Jinx it?
I don't know. You have a good chance of jinxing it.
Yeah, I'll write it down. It's in the book.
And she gets it.
With that free throw, Lisa Miller's 223rd. She has now set an NCAA Division II single season record. Congratulations, Lisa.
So she's got the single season free throw record.
So IPFW called a timeout, and I'm not sure if it was for any other reason than to go ahead and let them announce that about Lisa.
We'll be right back for more GLVC basketball action right after these brief messages.
Vince, get up. Safety belt test at 9. Hurry.
Not another windshield taste test. Count me out.
What? The old pro backing down from a motorhome?
Nothing like that. I'm just tired of trying to convince people to wear safety belts. No one's listening.
Safety belt saved Barbara Mandrell.
You're right. Someone listen. Let's hit the road.
You hungry, partner?
Let's do some donuts on the way in.
Good idea.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
There was this guy, a nationally known sports hero.
Mastodon, where IPFW leads Indianapolis 24-10, and it's just been all IPFW so far, offensively and defensively. They've held Indianapolis to only 10 points, and 6 of those from Finneman early on. It's 12:20 remaining in the first half of play.
Lisa Miller with 10 points and another record so far in the ball game.
I'm just always wondering how many more she can set before the end of the season, and I'm sure that number you can't count them. She continually climbs in field goal percentage. She's already reached that record, and so every point she gets from here on out just basically moves her up in the standings.
Take a look at this foul. Becker she put a good move on Kim, and she compensated by fouling her. At least once again she didn't get the shot, so to fall, so she has to earn it from the stripe, and it paid off.
This is Sam Finneman's first time at the line tonight. She makes the second.
She leads the Lady Greyhounds with 7 points, and Sands has 2 and Morgan has 2 for their other rest of their 11.
Kim Recker with a nice turnaround shot, but it's no good. Indianapolis looking to go down court. They do, and the ball is going to be thrown out of bounds as it slips through Kathy Miller's hands. They're just trying to get it down and I think try to get a quick bucket.
Trying to get something going. Well, the defense has been solid for the Lady Dons, so right now it looks like the plan for the Lady Greyhounds is try to beat it down court before they get set up, but so far it hasn't worked.
Lisa Miller. Shot no good. She had a nice screen by Shelly Sands, but just couldn't get that one to fall. Dawn Dressler with the steal. Lisa Miller gives it back to Dressler, and she doesn't get the roll. Kim Recker with the rebound. Up and good.
Good battle.
Lisa tried to give it back to Dawn. Dawn was the cause of that turnover down there. And,
take a look at that. The pass led her just a little under the basket too much, but Kim was right there.
Really fighting for the ball.
Recker's 4th point, looking for 5. Bang.
The Lady Greyhounds just trying to find something to work, as it's a 15-point lead for IPFW. They get it inside to Finneman, but this time Lisa Miller really shuts her off, and that shot was no good by Morgan. Miller down court quickly, lost the ball, and Shelly Sands strips it. No good, gets her own rebound, up and in. Nice move by Shelly Sands as the ball was basically in Kathy Miller's hands, and Shelly just turned around and just took it right out.
At least tried to dribble through too many defenders there, but Shelly was right with her, picking up the garbage, so to speak. See what they say?
That's
garbage points.
Yep. And that shot is in and out by Leanne Adams, and no good by Kathy Miller.
Miller out-rebounded Miller on that shot. There's just no sync or no rhythm to the offense for the Lady Greyhounds tonight. The Lady Dons defense is really taking them out of it.
Shelly Sands from the top, no good. Dawn Dressler with the rebound.
Jump ball called.
Lori Morgan had her hand right on the top of the ball there, and we've got a few substitutions. Number 12 and number 34, Laura Hodel and Erin Duncan coming in.
Pam Edwards back in along with Amy Hogan.
And this is the first time we've seen Amy Hogan in a while. First time in tonight, and she shoots from 3. That one,
behind the board.
Yeah, that one behind the board. I'm surprised the whistle didn't blow on that, but I guess they just let it go ahead and let them play since Indianapolis ended up with the basketball off of that. Pam with a lot of talking down there on the floor, hollering at Courtney Sands, but the bucket still goes.
That breaks a long drought for the Lady Greyhounds.
Leanne Adams had that open shot on the outside. Lisa Miller shoots, no good. Lisa's had a hard time really getting her rhythm going. She's got 6 points from the line and 4 from the field so far this evening.
Well, she's taken 2 long shots, if you can call those 12-footers long, and those are the longest shots the Lady Dons have taken tonight. Everything else has been from the line or underneath.
And they're going to call a foul on Jamie LaRue. I honestly thought she traveled, but I guess Jamie maybe forced that as she caught her as they tried to drive the lane.
And the contact before the foul.
We're still without a shooting. IPFW with 3 team fouls and Indianapolis with 4. And the basket's good by Courtney Sands.
That's 4 straight points. What's going on here?
LaRue finds Miller. Miller tries to bounce pass inside, but it goes off the Greyhound legs, and it will remain IPFW basketball.
Well,
go ahead.
Lady Greyhound defense is really collapsing under the bucket because, as I said, most of the Lady Don shots are coming from underneath. They're really not taking any outside shots.
A couple more new faces. Number 30, Irene Cleary, and 42, we have seen Sandy Hare was a starter for Indianapolis. Pam Edwards with another bucket, but I think Indianapolis coach just trying to find something to work out there on the floor for the Lady Greyhounds. See a lot of players coming in for Indiana Purdue for Wayne, but they're the same players. Nice save, but right to Amy Hogan. Jamie LaRue brings the ball down quickly. Lisa Miller gets the ball, turns, and she's going to have a walking violation. And of course, the fans on the opposing end always enjoy anything that Lisa does wrong, because there's not a whole lot of things that she does wrong, and so anything that they can get her on, they usually really enjoy.
Yep.
And Sands was going to go without the ball there. Out to Leanne Adams, and she gets another bucket.
Shot that one from behind her head.
And it's 30-17 ball game. IPFW with the lead. Pam Edwards turns, shoots. This time she's short, but Kim Recker ends up with the basketball and gets it off the glass. Recker with 6 points so far in the game. Oh, nice move by Courtney Sands, and that's the last 2 buckets have been by her.
She got around Pam that time.
She has a nice feel for where the basket is, but usually we've been able to shut her off. Last couple times she's just found her way to the basket.
Well, Lisa Miller is just drawing maroon whenever she touches the ball. This won't be a shooting foul, though.
Fouls on number 12, Laura Hoddle. And that's the team's 5th foul, so it'll be out of bounds to IPFW. And Amy Hogan finds Lisa Miller wide open.
Well, once again, for the 83rd straight time, Lisa Miller scored in double figures. That's her 12th point. Recker hit the deck.
Indianapolis trying to go inside, hoping that they can find a hole. And
looked like she took a step in there.
Yeah, I think that's what Pam's smiling about. How did she get away with that? She's wondering, but oh well, it's out of bounds off of us, and it'll stay the Greyhounds basketball.
Sands comes in as Coach Kleinfelder rotates 3 people among the 2 down low slots.
Greyhounds have a problem getting the basketball in, and Amy Hogan ends up with the inbounds pass. Lisa Miller looking for an opening and finds a lot of maroon, like you said earlier. They just close off that baseline.
Whoop. I think Shelley got it in the face there on a slap inadvertently.
Sands back out to Miller. She drives, shoots, and gets the bounce this time. That's Lisa's first field goal back-to-back so far this evening. A couple free throws, a basket, a free throws, basket. Whoa.
Hare hits a bucket. I think she had her foot on the line.
Yeah, they only gave her 2 points for that basketball. Well, that basketball went through the basket, which earned her 2 points. And it's a 36-21 ball game. Kim Recker finds Shelly Sands. She finds Recker back inside, and a jump ball as it kind of looked unbalanced. Number 42, Sandy Hare, had the ball, and Kim Recker almost looked like she was mugging her.
Well, Kim didn't see her. She's so short.
Yeah.
Still a ball game, although the Lady Dons are on the verge of really busted loose as the offense for the Greyhounds still in first gear. Here's a foul.
Lori Hoddle just trying to get in front of Lisa Miller and unable to do so. And that's her second foul, team 6. So one more foul. IPFW will be at the stripe for the remaining of the first half, and that's with 5:42. Imagine we'll probably see that pretty quickly. So.
Yep, probably right now.
Lisa Miller drives, shoots, doesn't get the roll. Dawn Dressler with the rebound, and it doesn't go.
And Shelley's going to draw a foul here.
Yeah, Shelley was really banging in there trying for the ball. She really didn't have the position. Courtney Sands had position on her, and that's where Shelley ran into trouble.
Well, it looked like Lisa got bumped a couple times on her shot, but nothing was called.
That's Shelley's first foul.
And LaRue comes back in for the Lady Dons, and Pam Edwards is going to come back in. Looks like we'll finish the first half here with the starting 5.
Amy Hogan did a nice job coming in, giving LaRue a little bit of a break, as neither one of them are really seasoned enough to play almost an entire half on their own. Fenneman dumps it inside to Sands, and
Block
Sands,
and a foul.
This time Pam Edwards didn't just get her hand on the ball, and I think caught her arm.
See that again here.
Indianapolis dumps it inside.
She got position on. She backed Pam up and got position, and all she could do was foul at that point.
And Courtney Sands hits the first.
Interesting free throw form. Take a look at her shoot. Really gets that arm up and extended.
She misses the second one, and Shelley gets the rebound, finds Dressler. Pam Edwards is
Here's
looking.
our center bringing it up court like a guard.
And Shelley took a step before putting the basketball down, and that'll be a traveling violation and another turnover for IPFW.
Now, if Pam Edwards can bring the ball up like that next season, she'll be a real threat in the GLVC. Move her out top.
And Pam read that pass well, and
keep her underneath. That's much better.
Took that away from Fenneman. Dawn Dressler back out to LaRue. Shelley Sands from 10 feet and gets that one.
That's what Shelley wanted to do the last time down, but just shuffled the feet.
Morgan with nowhere to go. Sands shutting off the baseline.
Morgan has been completely shut down. Throws the ball away again.
IPFW is really reading Indianapolis passes right now. Jamie LaRue tries to take it up and will get fouled. And this time it would be at the line anyway, but we're in the bonus. And that foul's on number 42, Sandy Hare.
You knew she was going to spin move and put that ball up, and got a hack on the arm. And Michelle Conley making her first appearance in the game, replacing Shelley Sands.
Jamie with the point for chance for her third point. Didn't get it there, but she has one more opportunity. Jamie's a player who's very hard on herself. You can just read it in her face. When she misses something or doesn't get a rebound or makes a mistake defensively, and she's just going to be one tough cookie as she gets more experience and has more playing time. She's going to be someone that's going to be hard to stop. Pam Edwards with the rebound. Lisa Miller almost wasn't ready to receive the pass, and they hollered at her, and she did get it. Edwards finds Dressler, who shoots, misses. Lisa Miller with the rebound, and
no way.
I don't know about that either, but they called it, and they have the stripes, and well, I didn't wear stripes tonight, so I can't say I can officially call that one. We can disagree.
She got bumped.
Thought that was going to be a foul. That's right. Finneman trying to find someone inside.
You're in trouble.
Morgan dumps it off. Or I should say gets to Morgan.
Here's the walk.
And Hare walks with the ball. And
Hare's
the
had a tough
basket's no
night.
good. And Hare's going to apply a little bit of pressure. But Jamie LaRue is a good ball handler, and I don't think will have any problems bringing the ball down the floor with a little bit of pressure on her.
No, she makes it exciting.
A little behind the back dribbling, and she does a lot of spin moves. And there's a spin move by Pam Edwards, but she didn't get the ball. And
Dressler got a foul.
tell you, Dawn's playing very aggressive under the basket, though, and I'd much rather see that with an occasional foul, because more often or not, she's going to be in position to get that rebound, and that's just going to really help her spirits as this season finishes out and next season comes around.
You get 5 fouls a game. You can use 1 or 2 here and there when you think, what the heck, especially when you're up by 17 points like the Lady Dons are.
Yeah, Dawn has 2 more seasons after this, so there's a 3-point basket by number 10, Melissa Graham. There's a lot of hope for this team, IPFW. You know you're going to lose Lisa Miller, but with Pam Edwards and these freshmen and sophomores who are playing extremely well for IPFW, the basketball team is going to be here. And with the new coach, Eileen Kleinfelder, I'm sure she'll attract a lot of new players. Jamie LaRue finds Pam Edwards.
Fouled.
And Pam
the shot.
Gets the roll. And we'll see Pam at the line for the first time tonight.
Let's take a look at that. After the steal, simple play. Nice strong move to the hoop, and Fenneman gets the foul, her second.
And she sinks that one, so that was a good opportunity for Pam to get 3. And that's 11 for Pam so far in the first half. And she's been someone who's also one of the top scorers for IPFW throughout this season. Indianapolis, I think, just wondering where to go right now. Try to drive to the basket, and
Shelley
Sands
over the
does.
back.
But this time she didn't get the ball to go.
Sands got around Sands, and Sands committed the foul on Sands, so Sands will go to the line.
And if that isn't a tongue twister, I don't know what is. And we're going to see Ann Leakin come in, give Dawn Dressler a break. Also coming back in is Kim Rucker.
Sands with 7 points on the night. The co-leading scorer so far for the Lady Greyhounds, along with Fenneman. She breaks that tie with her 8th. 2 out of 2 from the stripe for Sands tonight.
Lisa Miller loses the ball. I don't know. Just looked like she totally lost where she was heading with it, and it just went right out of her hands and into the hands of an Indianapolis player. Courtney Sands.
Oh, it's a charge, and the basket should not count. No basket. One of the little things that Lisa Miller does in this team. Here we'll get a chance to see it again. Lisa sees what's coming, sets up, and gets knocked over. The key there was she just held her ground and didn't try to lean in. She just got knocked over by the shoulder, but that's enough to be the charge. Good play on her part.
Lisa Miller finds Edwards wide open, but Pam loses it. Leakin ends up with the basketball, and it doesn't fall. And boy, there are a lot of arms flying into there.
And Leakin underneath, getting hammered again.
And he hustles back to stop that backside run. And we're going to have a violation on Sherry Trudy. And Leanne Adams coming back in. And this time Courtney Sands is going to take a little bit of a breather for the Lady Greyhounds. Kim Recker. We have lots of, we call them bookends, twins on our team.
Yeah.
not twins, from different families, but they look a lot alike.
And Kim's shot got blocked there.
IPFW keeps possession. Dawn Dressler to inbounds basketball. Finds Pam Edwards, and just a little bit too hard of a pass, and Pam was not able to control it.
Here for the Lady Greyhounds. Nope.
Nice hustle by Kim Rucker to at least get her hand on the ball, break up the fast break play by Indianapolis, and it goes out of bounds.
Leanne Adams somehow fell, and I thought she twisted her ankle for a moment, but she got up and back in play.
Oh, it hurt for a little bit, I guess.
There's a...
Lisa Miller ties up Shari Trudy underneath, and she's a little upset with herself not being able to get that ball up above Lisa's head.
Looked like she almost walked anyway. Little lackadaisical pass by Kim Recker on the inbounds, and that'll cost the Lady Dons that possession.
So it's still 15-point lead for IPFW, 1:11 remaining in this first half of play. IPFW has just really been in a rhythm this first half, and Indianapolis just really hasn't found that little niche.
Yeah, both teams have been out of rhythm here in the last 2 minutes. The one constant is the Lady Dons rebounding. Oh, and the Academy Award for acting best fall in the backcourt goes to
number 42.
Sandy Hare for her performance on that last foul.
Eileen Kleinfelder there, as you can see on the screen, is really upset with that.
Considering what goes on underneath, and there's a travel.
Can't jump up and down without passing the ball, and
Shari Trudy's had a good game so far.
Sherry's really disgusted with herself right now. At least that's what I'm reading from her face.
And probably her coach, too.
A little bit of full court pressure by Indianapolis, seeing if they can't force another turnover for IPFW, but Lisa Miller says, I'll bring the ball down floor. And I tell you, she's had trouble handling the basketball tonight. Nice move by LaRue, because Sandy Hare was basically going to go to the basket with that one, and Jamie just avoided the foul.
And Sandy brought her fan club here tonight.
And Jamie with the lost ball finds Lisa Miller. 19 seconds remaining here. Actually about a second difference between that and the shot clock. Lisa Miller shot up and no good. So one more basket attempt here by Indianapolis. Shot is up and good. Melissa Graham with 2 points. And that's it for the first half. And I tell you, they break it down here to only an 11-point lead for IPFW, and they're going to go into the locker room with a few smiles on their faces and maybe a little more enthusiasm when they come back out after halftime, Steve.
And the momentum has definitely shifted a little bit towards the Lady Greyhounds, who got a flurry there to, like you say, whittle 6 points off that lead, and they're playing a lot better than the Lady Dons are at this point in the ball game. As we go to half, Lisa Miller briefly leads with 14 points, Pam Edwards with 10, Courtney Sands leads the Lady Greyhounds with 9 points.
So we'll have to just see what happens here after the halftime. I was right. IPFW was in a groove for most of the game. They did have a little bit of problems here in the last couple of minutes. And we'll be right back with you here after this halftime with Alan Bangs, and he has a special sports report. And we hope you can stay tuned for that, and then you'll be right here when we come back after the half.
What do you really give when you give blood?
Another summer. Another dance.
Hi. How you doing?
Another song. Another hug.
Good game, man. Don't worry about it.
I love you. When you give blood, you give another chance.
How does it all work? From the smallest particle to the largest galaxy. What keeps it all going? Find out on The Mechanical Universe, a remarkable series that presents the latest in computer animation and video demonstrations. It's a fascinating introduction to the world of physics, hosted by Dr. David Goodstein of the California Institute of Technology. Discover The Mechanical Universe for yourself.
How to Move America takes a look at the major technological improvements that have made America's freight railway system safer than ever.
The 90s. A decade filled with challenge. Challenge to our economy, to our environment, to the very quality of American life. Can America's transportation system respond to these challenges? One vital part of it can. That part is our rail freight system. While nobody was paying much attention, it has been moving faster than you might think. We've invested heavily in research, and the investment is paying off. We've made hundreds of technological breakthroughs, yet to a casual observer, a train still looks like a train. But let's look closer. Just for starters, we reinvented the wheel, the freight car wheel. After years of engineering, analysis, and testing, a new wheel is now standard in the railroad industry. This new wheel has a new contour that reduces wear 2 ways. There's less wear on the rail and less on the wheel itself. The new wheel is tougher, too, thanks to a new heat-treating process that enhances life and reliability. And these new wheels are riding on new, better track. Some 100,000 miles of our system now consists of jointless, continuously welded rail. The benefit, smoother ride, less wheel wear, and less track wear. And above the rails and the wheels are even more improvements. Our customers' freight rides in an array of specialized modern cars pulled by the finest and most efficient diesel locomotives in the world.
You loan your motorcycle to a friend. That night you are arrested because your friend said something the government didn't like. You're held in a cell. There's no lawyer. Your relatives don't know where you are. You may be tortured without anyone ever finding out. Impossible? That happened to Tariq Hassan of Pakistan. But he was not forgotten. An Amnesty International chapter in New York adopted Tariq's case. They committed themselves to plan and carry out a campaign of letter writing and public pressure on his behalf. They organized marches, spoke in schools, circulated petitions, and enlisted the support of mayors, governors, and senators, all to pressure the Pakistani authorities for Tariq's release. Today, Tariq is free, but thousands of other prisoners of conscience are not. Join us. You'll never forget the first prisoner you free.
Here's a Channel 6 halftime sports break. I'm Alan Banks. The men's volleyball team opened the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association season last week with a pair of home victories. On Friday night, the Volleydons rallied from a first-game loss to defeat Wisconsin-Milwaukee 14-16, 15-5, 15-8, and 15-6. Junior Raul Papaleo led the Volleydons with 16 kills. Sophomore Norman Almodovar added 15 kills. Saturday, the Dons had a look at Ohio State University. Papaleo and Almodovar again led the Dons with 15 kills apiece in a 15-9, 15-11, 15-12 IPFW win. Sophomore Loy Ball surpassed the 1,000 assist mark for the season in Saturday's match against Ohio State. He has averaged 15.4 assists per game through 65 games this season. This Saturday, IPFW will again see Wisconsin-Milwaukee. although this week they'll have to travel to Milwaukee for the match. Despite last weekend's 122-93 loss to Ashland University, the IPFW men's basketball team remains on pace to record its most successful Great Lakes Valley Conference campaign ever. In 7 years of competition in the GLVC, they have never finished any higher than third and have never won more than 10 conference games. Currently, Andy Piazza's Mastodons are tied for third place, and they have 9 victories with 4 games left to play on the schedule. The Dons opened the week with a 93-90 non-conference victory over the Indiana Institute of Technology on Tuesday. IPFW's own Eric Vaughn ranks in the NCAA Division II free throw percentage race. His 93% clip is also the best in the GLVC. The Lady Dons enter this week with an overall record of 18-6, 10-4 in the GLVC, good enough to put them in a tie for third place. Last week, they captured a pair of road wins at Hillsdale College and Ashland University. Lisa Miller continues to cook for the Lady Dons. The All-American candidate broke her own single-season records for most points scored, most free throws, and most free throw attempts last week. This week's basketball schedule sees both the IPFW and women at the Multipurpose Center on Saturday against Northern Kentucky University. The women start at 6 p.m. each night, with the men getting underway at 8. For Channel 6 Sports, I'm Alan Bangs. Now stay tuned for the second half of action.
IPFW presents World-Class Volleyball Competition Tuesday night, March 17th at the Memorial Coliseum as the number 3 ranked U.S. men's national team battles the number 1 ranked Cuban nationals. Smashing serves, punishing slams, diving digs. You won't have to go to Barcelona to see this gold medal match. Catch the high-flying action of international volleyball as the U.S. men take on the Cubans March 17th at the Memorial Coliseum. Tickets start at $6, available at Ticketmaster and the Coliseum. Proceeds going to the Hilliard Gates Scholarship Fund.
And welcome back to the IPFW Mastodon, where IPFW has an 11-point lead over Indianapolis, the University of Indianapolis, I should say, 42-31. And it's been an interesting first half. IPFW came out playing very well right off the bat, had a little bit of a hard time at the end, and I think thus showing their shooting percentage. And I think I'll let you break some of that down for us, Steve.
Well, indeed, the Lady Dons got off to a great start. After it was 6-4, a few exchanges of baskets, the Lady Dons went on a 22-7 tear. to take a 28-11 17-point lead with about 9 minutes left in the half, including 10 points by Lisa Miller, in which she broke the which one of those records was that? The NCAA Division II single-season free throw record. She now has 223. That's a new record. And the Lady Dons were flying high. They had still had that 17-point lead with about 6.5 minutes left at 36-19, at which point the offense kind of lost a tire or something. And Indianapolis outscored the Lady Dons 12-6 to close that 11-point lead that the Lady Dons now enjoy 42-31. Lisa Miller leads with 14 points. Pam Edwards has 11. Shelly Sands with 4. Dawn Dressler with 4. Kim Ricker with 6 points. And Jamie LaRue playing tonight for Tina Manier, who suffered a concussion in last week's ball game with Ashland. So she's here in street clothes, and they said that perhaps if they really needed her, she could maybe suit up in the second half. But I doubt if we'll see her since she's still in street clothes here after the half. Indianapolis' leading scorer is Lori Morgan. That's their season leading scorer. She only has 2 points tonight on 2 free throws. She's been completely shut off. Courtney Sands leads with 9 points. Sam Fenneman has 7 for the Lady Greyhounds. Sandy Hare has 2 buckets for 4. Leanne Adams has 4 points. And Kathy Miller has not scored. Melissa Graham has the only 3-point shot of the night and another basket, so she has 5. And Christy, looking at the other statistics, the Lady Dons not shooting that well, 47% on 17 of 36, but they've gotten more opportunities and hit more baskets, as the Lady Greyhounds are only 12 out of 30 for 40%. Turnovers key in the ball game so far. The Lady Greyhounds have committed 14, the Lady Dons 11. In fact, an uncharacteristic 5 turnovers by Lisa Miller. And Jamie LaRue turns the ball over 3 times. She also has 4 assists, filling in for point guard Tina Manier tonight. So far, so good. An 11-point lead. It could be better. And I imagine that Coach Kleinfelder at the half explained to the team that the way they started the game, the way they played early in the half, is the way they need to start the second half and reassert themselves in the ball game.
That's right, Steve. I'm sure that's some of what she had to say during the halftime break. One of the things I thought that were really interesting looking over these statistics were the block shots, and that we have 5 and they have 2, and all 5 of ours go to Pam Edwards, and that just kind of shows what she's been playing like underneath the basket, as well anywhere really on the floor. And the only 2 blocks for Indianapolis have come from Courtney Sands, who's also a forward, and most of those blocks come from underneath the basket. Turnover-wise, as you were saying, it was 14-11. A lot of turnovers early in the game from both teams, and that was pretty even. So IPFW really doesn't have a whole lot to change, I wouldn't say, from the first half, other than to get back into their rhythm that they had early in the game and get back on their offense. They've got the players out there who are hitting tonight. It's been a real good spread for IPFW. A lot of times it's Edwards and Miller who obviously are leading IPFW up from the first half, but we have 4 other players that are on the board and with more than just a bucket. And so that really makes it difficult on Indianapolis, because who can you shut down? If you do key on Edwards and Miller, fine, you slow their game down, but Dressler, LaRue, Recker, and Sands are right there to pick up the pieces and get that bucket. And so IPFW is really looking good for late in the season, and we'll just see what they can do as they come out here in the second half.
I think it's interesting. I noticed this in the first half. The Lady Dons, probably I think Amy Hogan took a 3-point attempt and missed it, but all the other shots have really been like 10 to 12 feet maximum. A lot of layup attempts. Obviously, Lisa Miller, her forte is driving the lane, getting fouled, and going to the free throw line. The Lady Greyhounds, a lot more shots from far out, and those misses have been rebounded by IPFW. The Lady Dons have been getting great rebounding position tonight.
That's right, and I think that has a little bit to say about IPFW. They've been closing off the lane, which forces the Greyhounds to have to shoot from the outside. Funny enough, Pam Edwards has gotten most of those 10 or 12-foot shots. She hasn't really been underneath the basket on her offensive end of the game so far this evening. And there was a missed shot by the Greyhounds, and IPFW will get a chance to start out as they did in the first half with the early bucket. Jamie LaRue, and there's a nice long shot, but that doesn't fall.
Jamie wasn't listening to my halftime remarks.
No. She must have missed them. And there's another shot, no good. Lori Morgan having a real rough time getting her game settled down.
This isn't the first time a leading scorer for some school has come in here and just been completely throttled by the Lady Don defense.
That's right. Eileen has done a real good job checking out the teams. And, I mean, they've played Indianapolis before, and they know what they've got, and they know who they need to shut down. And obviously, Lori Morgan is one that they were worried about, but I would say more or less they wanted to shut down Finneman and Sands underneath the basket. And those have been the scorers for the University of Indianapolis.
Both teams cold to start the second half.
It's still an 11-point lead, 42-31, and we'll see if IPFW can get something going and try to turn that momentum that we saw at least swinging toward University of Indianapolis as they left, but we haven't seen that yet.
I think Pam thought she got fouled on that shot. It was either a block or a slap on the hand, and the refs didn't think it was a foul.
Either way, the ball didn't fall, and Indianapolis gets the first chance, and a three-point basket is up, but it's no good. And Sands ends up with the rebound, and Indianapolis drives and doesn't get the basket. That's a tough miss by Sandy Hare. She really had the lane wide open, and there was nothing between her and the basket, but she couldn't get it to fall. So both teams having trouble on the offensive end. LaRue looking inside.
Nope.
Finds Lisa Miller, and she gets a bucket. And
if you don't foul her, she'll score.
That's right. I hope at least that breaks the ice for IPFW as they finally get their first bucket of the second half. Oh, and there's a three-point shot by Melissa Graham. And that's her second one of the evening, and she's not afraid to throw it up. She just threw one up a minute ago and missed. Threw another one up and got it. Lisa Miller is driving the baseline, and I'm not sure the call. I believe it's going to be a foul on Lori Morgan.
She's walking around
and it is.
Like she's nailed.
It's one of those nights, you know, you can't get anything going on the offensive end, and defense isn't working for you either. LaRue finds Miller. Miller finds an opening in the lane, drives, no good.
Yeah, Lori Morgan walks with the ball. They may have to pull Lori out and set her down just for a second. I'm not saying she's lost her composure, but she's really struggling out there.
Well, Chuck Melinder was giving her a hand at least for her effort at getting the rebound, and Dawn Dressler shoots no good. IPFW with a little bit of a soft touch here as they come out. I'd rather see them roll over the rim or be a little bit too hard, but right now they're just not even quite getting there. And I think we got a kick shot there by Dawn Dressler, so the ball will remain in Indianapolis' hands. And they have to go up to the top of the key.
Whoop.
Lisa Miller almost caught herself there.
Another kick.
Another good crowd this evening. The men follow up the ladies once again. They will play the University of Indianapolis tonight. So if you don't have anything else to do and you'd like to come out and watch the game, hopefully you do. And Jamie LaRue with nice hands on the ball.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure that was a real smart player. She had a real trouble with the ligaments in her hand, and I think that's going to be her elbow this time. She's really an aggressive player, and I think she wants to show the first-year coach that she's willing to go for the basketball. You know, she got her hands on it, tipped it down the floor, tried to get it before it went out of bounds, and obviously.
A nice floor burn on that right arm now. That'll sting tomorrow.
Maybe she ought to play some softball. She had a nice slide.
Yeah.
She was safe.
The diving coach would have been happy with that one.
That's right.
And there's a turnover back. Thank you.
Courtney Sands looking to go in the lane, getting shut off, tried to throw it outside, and Sandy Hare was nowhere to be found.
Now the two Lady Greyhound players were like goalposts, and that was a field goal going through them. Okay, that was the worst analogy of the night. I am sorry.
That's all right. It fit the situation. It fit the scenario. Dawn Dressler looking inside.
Someone score. Lisa will.
Lisa will take the shot.
A little strong.
And Finneman gets the rebound. They find Sandy Hare. She takes it coast to coast and gets hammered by Shelly Sands and Jamie LaRue. We'll be interested to see who they give it to because they both contributed to that.
Shelly's reacting like it's hers. It is.
It is. They gave it to her. We're going to look at that one more time.
Look out.
Hare's wide open. Actually, LaRue didn't get her arm on it. Sands stuck it out. And tell you, though, if you're going to get the foul, you might as well not allow them to have the basket. And that was definitely prevented there. and Sandy Hare will go to the line for the Lady Greyhounds.
I just have to laugh. Shelley reacting like, how could you call a foul on me? When you chase someone down from behind and stick your arm in front of them, you're probably going to get a foul call.
And that was her third foul, so
yeah.
she just sat on the bench.
She's probably more upset that they got beat on defense.
Sandy Hare knocks down the first, and that's the first basket so far. No.
They have a 3.
They have a 3. I'm sorry, I got to take that back. Melissa Graham scored a 3. I knew that. But Sandy Hare sinks both of those.
And it's down to an 8-point lead.
IPFW really having a difficult time getting set in their offense and have allowed the Lady Greyhounds to slowly creep back into this one. Pam Edwards turns, shoots, and gets the roll.
That was an important bucket for the Lady Dons to get.
Nice turnaround shot, but no good by Fenneman. Lisa Miller with the rebound. Lisa drives down, she's going to take it herself, and it's no good. Lisa's real good. If no one else really has an open shot, she figures she's worth getting a foul, and that's going to be on Sam Fenneman.
She was determined to draw the foul on that play. You see, she takes it herself. They gave her an opening, and boom, let's take it.
LaRue was there. It would have been really nice to see if Lisa could have fed it through like Jamie did earlier in the first half. And Miller hits the first of 2.
Should I mark down the second one?
Oh, sure, you haven't jinxed anybody yet this evening.
Okay, I'll mark it down.
And she gets the roll.
Maybe I won't do that anymore. 8 of 8 from the line for Lisa tonight.
Jamie LaRue causing a little bit of trouble up front. Man-to-man defense by IPFW.
Gotta watch Graham. She'll put the 3-point shot up.
That's right. They were looking for. All she needs is one step. Turnaround shot by Fenneman, no good, and she was forced to take that shot because it was a 30-second clock was ticking off.
And Graham found herself underneath the basket where she had no business being and wound up on the floor.
LaRue finds Dressler, and Dressler drives the baseline. The ball's knocked out of her hands by an Indianapolis player, and they'll get it back underneath the basket. See if they can convert 2 points out of this. Got to watch Lisa Miller. She has a nice cut to the basket where she gets a quick one. Not this time. Get it out front to Edwards. Edwards loses the ball, but LaRue comes up with it, finds Miller open underneath. No good, and it's going to be a jump ball. It should be IPFW's possession. As Indianapolis, that's how it works anymore. The second half came out. It was their basketball to start off with, and so possession arrow pointed IPFW's way. Dressler inbounds the basketball. Edwards is being mobbed.
Sandy Hare found herself in no woman's land there.
Finds Dressler underneath, though, and Dawn gets 2 more for this evening, and that makes her 6. Definitely a big improvement from the beginning of the season where either she came in, she wasn't in long, and was rarely on the offensive. There's a sinker. I almost didn't know what to say by Lori Morgan as she just pounded that one down.
Her first bucket of the night. This is a person who scores 14 a game to lead the Lady Greyhounds.
Pam Edwards turns, drives the lane, shoots, and doesn't get the bounce, and the ball kind of bounced around underneath. Ends up the Greyhounds, and Dawn Dressler kind of ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time and is going to get the foul. And number 10, Melissa Graham, will inbound the ball for the Lady Greyhounds, as it's only the second team foul for IPFW. And IPFW wants a timeout here as they really haven't gotten into sync, Steve, in the second half.
But they're up by 12 points. We'll be back on Saturday evening, February 29th, this Saturday at 6 o'clock when the Lady Norse from Northern Kentucky University take on the Lady Dons. Then at 8, the Norsemen from Kentucky Wesleyan meet the Mastodons. Catch all the action of IPFW basketball right here on Channel 6.
And there we take a look at the huddle for IPFW, and I always like to wish I could be a little mouse to see what Eileen has to say right now just to try to get them going offensively. IPFW, like we said early in the first half, they were really shooting well and ended up with not a great field goal percentage after the end of their first half, and coming right back out in the second half of play and not really playing really well and not in sync with each other. So we'll see if this helps, and we'll find out if we can figure out what Eileen might have tried to change.
And if we can figure out what I just said, that's Northern Kentucky's both games this Saturday. Kentucky Wesleyan will not be here if the men's coach suddenly had a heart attack. No, it's the Northern Kentucky Norsemen against the Mastodons at 8 on Saturday.
That's right. It's another doubleheader, and I tell you, it's a great night of basketball. So if you don't have anything to do this Saturday,
it's the final home games for these two
That's
squads.
right. It's a final home game, so if you like to watch Lisa Miller play, you might want to come out. This will be the last chance to see her, at least locally, unless you travel to one of their other games. I mean, we're glad you join us and listen to us, but we would love to see you out here sitting in the stands and giving your support to IPFW basketball, both the men's and the women's program, which have both done very well this season. Finneman travels. She had the right idea, saw the open lane, just forgot to put the basketball down. Pam Edwards has got the ball, and full court pressure has caused some problems for IPFW. I tell you, they got really lucky because Lisa Miller got the ball, but it was knocked out of her hands by the Lady Greyhounds, and so they get it back. And this time they're a little more ready for the full court pressure.
Just barely.
Barely. LaRue gets her hands on it as Sandy Hare knocks that one out of bounds, and they call it Lady Greyhounds basketball on that one. I guess they feel that LaRue touched it last. Turnover for IPFW.
The initial signal was for the Lady Dons.
That's right. Jamie LaRue saying no. This time it was off of Sandy Hare, but the official still says it stays with the Greyhounds. And I tell you, we don't need that. If that pressure's working for them, that's going to get some spark going for the Lady Greyhounds, and we don't need anything really going for them right now, as we only have a 12-point lead, and that's not a lot with 13:56 remaining in this game. And a driving basket, no good, and this time the ball is out of bounds, and it will go to the Lady Dons.
What's that key point in the ball game? The Lady Dons are this close from just breaking it open, or the Lady Greyhounds making a shot at putting a run on and getting back in it. So that's the reason for the full court pressure, and they break it easily this time.
Lisa Miller to LaRue to Dressler to Recker, who almost loses the basketball, decides to put it down and can't get it up. And yeah, she's going to be over the back. Just playing aggressively there, trying to get the ball back after the missed shot, and finds herself over the back.
Well, that's the Achilles heel of the full court press like that. It generally gives you a 3-on-2 advantage underneath, and Dawn's pass bounced a little high and wide from Kim, and then she tried to force the shot up. And would have been better just to bring the ball back out and set the offense up.
I think Kim was looking for another basket, though. She has 6 so far this evening, and I'm sure that makes her feel pretty good on the offensive end. And Lisa Miller ties up Lori Morgan, who really didn't have any choice. She just caught the pass, and Lisa saw it coming, waited till she got it in her hands and grabbed it. Possession arrow remains the Lady Greyhounds. They get the ball in. Lane shut off, though, and this time it's a jump ball again, and this time it goes to the Lady Dons as Shelly Sands ties up Sam Finneman.
Hurry up.
Full court pressure. Lisa Miller's wide open. Morgan tried to set up for a charge, and they find Shelly Sands wide open underneath.
Finally, the 52nd point hits the board.
And once again, that's what happens when the full court press is open. There's going to be somebody open underneath if you can just get the ball down the floor, and there they did that time without much trouble, and Shelly Sands was wide open. Morgan finds Finneman, who was camping out in the lane.
Yeah. It must be really, really tough for the defense when Lisa Miller leads the break, because you know she can score, you know she can draw the foul, but you also know she can pass off, and she had people on either side to pass the ball to. A real tough defensive situation.
Leanne Adams picks up her second foul, and that's a third-team foul for the Lady Greyhounds. Courtney Sands comes back into the ball game to give Sam Finneman a little bit of a break. Lisa Miller gets the basketball, brings it down quickly, drives the lane, shoots, and literally just almost runs over Lori
Get out of
Hoddle.
the way, 12. Now Laura Hada looked like she was just kind of innocently standing under there trying to get out of the way, and she gets called for the foul while Lisa drove. So she'll be getting her 19th and 20th points right here. Putting them in the book now. And her 9th and 10th free throw.
That one without any problems.
Yep. Move on to the next page here. There we see, no problem.
No problem.
20
that time.
points. Well, slowly but surely, it looks like the Lady Dons are the ones that are going to kind of pull away, put this game away maybe.
Morgan looks nowhere to go, almost loses the basketball. They find Courtney Sands. She drives and shoots, and there's that nice move.
She got Pam off her feet and drove around her.
Shelly Sands didn't have anywhere to go, sent it back up to the top. Pam Edwards looking, nowhere to go.
Greyhounds wanted to travel, but no.
Dawn Dressler gets a second basket here of the second half.
Pretty soon, I think the Lady Greyhounds will start launching those threes.
And there's going to be a steal by Lisa Miller. You should be able to count that one as two, and you can. Lisa's really getting going here in the second half. 11:40 remaining. 58-40. IPFW leads this one by 18. Indianapolis really frustrated right now, not being able to go inside. Morgan loses the ball, and
it's Lady Don basketball.
Sands basically had a really smart move there, stepping in front of Morgan, not allowing her to get to the basketball and save it.
And the Lady Greyhounds relinquishing that full court press, just a token press on the person bringing the ball up.
And that was what we were talking about, how it's interesting to watch LaRue bring the ball down the floor, and there was a behind the back.
Yeah.
And she came down. Oh, Pam Edwards dribbles that one through. Wasn't sure, in and out, yeah, I'll go down through. 60-40.
Suddenly it's a 20-point lead.
They dump it inside to Sands. No good. Edwards knocks it back out, but Sands gets it. Leanne Adams for two. And I'm not sure what we lost here is officials timeout. I think they're looking to see if Lisa Miller has her contact.
Yep.
Lady Greyhound, number 42, Sandy Hare. She replaces number 10, Melissa Brown.
We're getting a nice close-up of that. Makes my eyes water. Lisa with 22 points on the night, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Pam Edwards, 15 points and a free throw. Shelly Sands, 6. Dawn Dressler with 8. Kim Recker with 6. And Jamie LaRue, once again playing for Tina Manier, who suffered a concussion in the Ashland game, so she's in street clothes tonight, not going to play. And at this point, there's no need to try to put her in a ball game with the Lady Dons fairly comfortably ahead.
Well, the contact must have still been in the eye, at least. Pam Edwards turns, shoots on the contact, and hits the bucket.
Well, that one brought rain.
All hands are up for IPFW. Lots of high fives on that one.
Let's see that shot again. I'm sure it'll leave the camera range and come back down. There, it did. Nice shot. Like Scott May in the 1976 NCAA finals.
Edwards with the chance for 3 and gets it.
18 for Pam.
And there's a kick shot by Lisa Miller, who was a little upset that actually she got her foot out there because that ball would have been thrown away by the Greyhounds and it would have been IPFW's. Finneman's going to come back into the ball game, and she's going to give Lori Morgan a rest, who right now only has 4 points in this game. Real tough night, both offensively and defensively for her. Courtney Sands takes the one-on-one against Edwards, gets the bucket and the foul. And this time Pam gets the foul, so.
Yep, once Sands got around her again, as we'll see on this replay. She's got a a good pivot move,
and she basically was one-on-one. Everybody else had fallen out.
And Pam's been buying the fake.
And she makes the three-point attempt. That gave Sands 14 points so far in the game. And once again, Lisa Miller taking it up herself. And she's going to get the foul.
She's going after her 23rd and 24th point here.
And we watch Lisa Miller bring it down.
Thank you.
Courtney catches her on the arm.
On the arm.
That was Courtney's third foul, team 6th. It's a shooting foul, though, so Lisa Miller will shoot 2 from the line. And there's the first. And we have one more. I'm even going to be positive. I'm going to mark it on my sheet tonight. And that's unusual.
Way to go. I didn't do it.
And
I didn't do it.
I did it. But it was so far out that IPFW had the basketball, but when they tried to throw it into Dawn, Dawn got a foul.
I knew that my luck was up. I didn't want to jinx her.
Your luck was up, and I thought I had some luck, but I guess I don't. So I'll just sit up here now and do the books the way I normally do, and let them get marked as they fall.
You gotta know when to use pencil and when to use ink.
11-12 though from the line for Lisa Miller so far this evening, and the game has not yet even really near the end with 9:56 remaining. And I believe, yeah, they did give that basket to number 54, Sam Finneman.
Lady Greyhounds making their last ditch run here, I think.
Shelley Sands with a brick, but Lisa Miller ends up with the basketball, drives the baseline, nowhere to go, finds LaRue up front.
Time to take some of that time off the shot clock.
Shelley Sands shoots, doesn't get the roll, and Finneman ends up with the basketball. A lot of time left still. They had 19 seconds. I think they'd want to take some of that down. Lori Hoddle finds the bucket there. Took on Lisa Miller one-on-one. A little bit of bravery. Pam Edwards turns, shoots. This time doesn't get it, but Shelley Sands gets the rebound. Should have probably taken the shot.
Overpassed at that time.
Tried to pass it back
Made
under.
a difficult pass anyway.
Yeah. And that's definitely a short shot by Hoddle.
Yeah, something will happen here.
Jamie LaRue drives and scores. Yay, Jamie LaRue gets 2 so far for the second half. Gives her 5 in the game so far. And another missed shot by Finneman.
And a foul by Hare.
University of Indianapolis having a hard time finding the range right now.
There's Lisa picking herself back up.
That's a usual sight. It's very usual to see Lisa coming up off the floor. And that's the third foul on Sandy Hare. And the team's 7th, so we'll be in the bonus for 8 minutes and 22 seconds remaining.
Amy Hogan making an appearance, and Kim Recker. I think, I'm not mistaken, Coach Kleinfelder went with the starting 5 for the whole 12 minutes to open this half. This is the first substitution.
I believe you're right. Lisa Miller doesn't get that one.
Woof.
I didn't mark it down either.
Neither did I. I knew she was out of gas. Even 11 straight is pretty good.
That's right. She's still 11 out of 14. And there's a driving basket by Hare. The range was close that time, so I would hope that they would make that one, but we won't get negative on the University of Indianapolis. Kim Recker drives, doesn't get the basket. Nice position by Sands, and IPFW is going to foul. And that's going to go on Amy Hogan. It's only her first foul, team 6, so one more foul, and Indianapolis will be in the bonus also.
Well, the last thing the Lady Dons want to do is stop the clock and let the Greyhounds shoot from the line.
And there was a wide open lane for Melissa Graham.
Someone ring the alarm.
That's right, a little bit of a run here for the University of Indianapolis. Kim Recker drives, shoots, scores, and a lot of people yelling. They would have liked a traveling call on that one.
Yeah, I see their point.
She did take a big step. Nice basket by Courtney Sands. All of a sudden, it's hot baskets both ways. Jamie LaRue drives, and it should be IPFW's balls. Went off the hands of the University of Indianapolis.
I think so.
Lisa Miller drives, gets the basket and the foul.
Here's the replay, and nice clear shot of that drive, and of course the foul. She got him on the arm, and Lisa looks to make a three-point play.
And
got
gets it.
12 out of 14 from the stripe tonight for Lisa Miller.
Oh, there's a travel. I was going to say, I hope they get that. Sandy Hare all of a sudden ran into a bunch of traffic and just took a humongous step under the basket.
Sandy fell in love with her drive shot and forgot to have a place to go with it.
Shelly Sands brings the ball down, drives, shoots. No good off the glass. Oh, boy, they called the jump balls. Lisa Miller tied up Melissa Graham. Jump ball possession arrow to the Lady Greyhounds.
Pam Edwards coming in for Kim Recker.
A little bit of a full court pressure by PFW. No problem this time for the Lady Greyhounds. Finneman shoots, blocked by Pam.
That must be at least 5 blocks for Pam Edwards tonight.
Well, she had 5 in the first half. So
okay, so it's probably 7 blocks for Pam tonight.
She's had a couple here in the second half, not as many as the first, so she's done very well for block shots so far this evening. Sands finds Finneman. Finneman gets her own rebound, but stripped by Lisa Miller. Gets it back, and this time it's no good by Sandy Hare. A lot of scrappy basketball being played right now. Shelly Sands finds Miller. Miller shoots, scores.
27. But once again, the Lady Dons have answered the run put up by the Lady Greyhounds. Moved the lead back up to 18 points.
LaRue almost gets a steal and does. Goes off Amy Hogan's hands back to LaRue. LaRue smartly drives, stops, and well, I was going to say, I was going to set it back up, but tried to pass it inside, and there was no one there but Maroon.
Hey, it's a freshman.
That's all right. Finneman gets another bucket. Finneman with 11 so far this evening. 5:41 remaining, and a steal by Finneman, and the basket's going to be good by Sandy Hare.
There was a case where probably Shelley should have given the ball up to LaRue, the ball handler, as opposed to trying to take the ball across the court herself.
I tell you, we've got some really huffing and puffing, if I may say, out there on the floor. It's really been a running game here the last 2 minutes.
Sands just picked up her 4th foul, so she's coming out.
You're definitely seeing the weakness, and the, I wouldn't really say the weakness, the just distress and tiredness of the players right now, their faces. All very thankful for the free throw. Courtney Sands will be on the line. And the bonus situation in play.
17 for Courtney Sands. She's 5 out of 6 from the line tonight. Probably missed this one.
Nope,
thought I could jinx it.
Maybe I should have said I was marking it down.
And the lead's back down to 12.
Lisa Miller running into some traffic. They try to double team her, and they foul her. It's on number 4, I believe, Leanne Adams, and it is. And that's also her 4th foul. Lisa Miller will go into the line one more time.
12 out of 14. Should I mark it down?
You can. I'm not gonna.
I'll mark it down. Oh, no, I didn't. I lied.
You lied.
I didn't mark it down. I just wanted to sound confident.
Okay, Leanne Adams finds herself with the basketball, shoots and scores. And it's a 10-point ball game. IPFW needs to do something. Michelle Conley with the basketball. Gives it up to the point guard. And tonight that's Jamie LaRue.
Yeah, this is where Tina Manier would come in handy right now.
So IPFW really in need of a basket right here. LaRue looking inside, can't get it off, and she doesn't watch her get a 5-second call. Oh. Pam Edwards, oh, and the foul's gonna go the other way.
Oh, Leanne Adams got a forearm from Pam Edwards in the neck, and Pam got away with it.
And then Leanne gets called with a foul.
Let's take a look at that. No, we just...
LaRue looking.
Oh, here we go. Right there. She reaches out and gets nailed on the foul call.
And that was Leanne Adams' 5th foul, so she'll take a seat. Coming in will be number 12, Lori Hoddle. I should say Laura Hoddle. It's not Lori. Give her the correct pronunciation. Pam Edwards misses the first one. Dawn Dressler with the rebound, and the ball was stripped away.
And Dawn steals and puts it up. Real nice play there.
IPFW fans excited about that one because there was an opportunity there for the University of Indianapolis to bring this one back down to 8.
Blocked again by Edwards.
Oh, and a nice basket by Sam Finneman. As she had to come back, she was underneath to get that to fall. Pam Edwards says, I do not want to bring the ball down the floor at this crucial moment. Gets it to Jamie LaRue.
Good idea. Right now we got to get the ball in the hands of Lisa Miller or Pam Edwards.
And there's the experienced player, Pam Edwards from the stripe. She's hit a few of those shots tonight. Finneman looking inside. Edwards shuts her off. Finneman finds an opening though and doesn't get the roll.
And a foul on Edwards, I think.
Foul number 43, Pam Edwards, her 3rd. Back into the game for the Lady Dons, number 35, Shelly Sand. She replaced number 10, Michelle Conley. Courtney Sands will go to the line.
Courtney Sands will be on the line.
She's got a 18-point night going for herself.
She'll be shooting the bonus here. And so the first one goes. She gets the chance for 2.
That's 19.
And she's 8 from 9 from the line so far this evening.
Big possession here.
It's a 10-point ball game, 3:38 remaining. Edwards wide open and scores. Nice feed by, I believe, Lisa Miller found her underneath the basket.
Yep. Another assist for Lisa. 22 on the night for Pam Edwards. And she fouls again. Foolish reach around foul that time.
Finneman had the baseline. All Pam needed to do was step over and instead put her arm out, and we're going to watch this one more time.
See, she had position behind, but just got caught with her hand in the till, and she's got 4 fouls, and that's not good, even with 3:22 left in the ball game.
So IPFW wants a timeout to talk about it a little bit, as they only lead by 12 points with 3:22, but that 12 isn't very much considering how we've been watching the University of Indianapolis play here in the last 4 minutes of this ball game.
We'll be right back for more GLVC basketball action right after these brief messages.
IPFW presents World Class Volleyball Competition Tuesday night, March 17th at the Memorial Coliseum as the number 3 ranked U.S. men's national team battles the number 1 ranked Cuban nationals. Smashing serves, punishing slams, diving digs. You won't have to go to Barcelona to see this gold medal match. Catch the high-flying action of international volleyball as the U.S. men take on the Cubans March 17th at the Memorial Coliseum. Tickets start at $6, available at Ticketmaster and the Coliseum. Proceeds going to the Hilliard Gates Scholarship Fund.
And we're back to basketball, and it's a 12-point lead for IPFW, 79-67. with 3:22 remaining here in the second half. And we've got Sam Finneman at the line for the University of Indianapolis. They've really been fighting, and IPFW really having a hard time just trying to keep that 8-point, 10-point lead, and it's really gone back and forth here the last 4 minutes of play. And Sam Finneman finds the hole for the first of a 1-and-1.
Well, twice now the Lady Dons have pushed the lead out to about 20 points. They headed back out to 18, and then suddenly the Lady Greyhounds went on an 8-0 run.
Greyhounds have had some little sparks of their own. They've come alive. Full court pressure. Almost an overthrown pass. Jamie LaRue, the coach for University of Indianapolis, calling for a carry. Pam Edwards underneath and rings that one home.
The seniors hooking up on that play. Well, I guess I'm sorry, Pam. Keep on. We keep wanting to graduate.
You want to graduate Pam, and we don't want to do that.
Upperclassmen, the team leaders, got together on that.
Finneman, Pam had no choice but to let her shoot that one, and she was wide open under the basket.
That's right. We can't afford to have her foul out.
And they're going to take it to her. You know that with Finneman under the basket and Sands, they're just really going to drive into Edwards and hope that they do get her out of this game. Lisa Miller,
that's a
wide
big play.
open, and that's a bucket and a chance for 3.
What we'll probably see as much as possible in these last couple minutes as we take a look at that play is Pam coming out on defense and going back in for offense if we get some stoppages of action like a foul call here. Nice play by Lisa.
Lori Hoddle didn't have much choice. She had arms straight up in the air, but some contact with Lisa, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, Lisa's fouled out one guard tonight.
And Lisa sinks the 3-point play.
30 points for Lisa Miller tonight so far.
So it's a 13-point lead for IPFW. 2:29, University of Indianapolis, if they want anything to happen, are going to have to
makes
probably
a nice
do it.
steal. Couldn't do anything with it. But
nope, it stays their way. They're going to have to do something here if they want.
Another floor burn for Jamie.
Jamie LaRue really looks beat up tonight, but she's played a good game. Only a freshman.
And we thought we'd seen Amy Perkins at point guard to give her a break, but except for a brief stint by Amy Hogan, it's been Jamie the whole ball game.
That's given Jamie some good experience. Shot no good by Sandy Hare, and IPFW gets the basketball. Dressler looking inside. It's a man-to-man both ways right now.
Lisa's really bottled up.
Michelle Conley back out to LaRue. They get it back into Michelle. She's going to turn. Nowhere to go. This time she is going to shoot and gets the roll. That's Michelle Conley's first bucket of the evening.
That may do it. No. Well, still a little drama left.
Melissa Graham gets 2. And I believe the foul is going to be on Dawn Dressler. It is.
Foul number 22, Dawn Dressler, her 4th. Melissa Graham.
That's her 4th foul, so IPFW playing, well, Edwards is out, so Dressler is the only one in right now with 4 fouls for in Indiana Purdue. And the 3-point basket was good. Lisa Miller bringing the ball down, and I'm even going to go with that one because boy did she travel, I think, before the contact, and that foul is going to go on Melissa Graham. And
take a look at that and see what happened.
I don't know. Lisa gets the ball out front.
Oh, she definitely came over and hacked her. It seemed watching it live that Graham was just standing there and Lisa went into her, but that was an obvious foul. 2 more for the line, or from the stripe. Whoops. Okay. It's a scrum. First down, Lady Dons.
It's about 5 players down on the floor on that one. Fans unhappy on the University of Indianapolis side. They don't have the opportunity to see the instant replay, and the original one did look like Lisa Miller traveled. Shelly Sands turns, shoots, and scores.
8 for Shelly Sands tonight.
1:05 remaining.
Pretty much
That's right.
Seals the victory,
14-point ball game right now. Courtney Sands.
And we keep stopping the clock.
Conley thought she had cleanly stripped the ball there, but they thought she hacked her on the arm.
I am a little confused that the Lady Greyhounds haven't attempted a few more three-point baskets. They're lower percentage, but they're not going to get back into the ball game by just taking the ball down low. Obviously, they're hoping to draw the foul and stop the clock. I guess that's a good strategy, too, but...
And we really couldn't see it from that angle. It was tough that...
we did see that Michelle fouled her.
We did see it on the first one that time. That's right. Courtney Sands once again at the line tonight. And she bricks that one. Amy Hogan wide open. No good. And she was fouled. Amy just went a little bit ahead of herself there. Got a little bit under the basket and was not able to put the ball up very well, I should say. It went up. And Amy Hogan will go to the line. So we're going to drag out this last minute of play.
Tick, tock, tick. Amy scoreless in the night, looking for her first point. Gets it.
We're going to look at this one more time here.
Not.
And Hogan's second one is up and good. So Amy gets a couple points here late in the second half. 50 seconds remaining in this ball game. It's a 90-74 lead for IPFW. They go inside to Sands. She turns and shoots. Oh, and we're going to have a timeout. The Lady Greyhounds want to talk about what they might be able to do to
how can we score 14 points in this next 40
lead.
seconds?
And I guess their pressure has really worked so far this evening, so I guess they feel if they keep that up, they might get a few quick turnovers right away. But we're really ready for this game to wind up and would have rather let that 40 seconds go right on down.
We'll be right back for more GLVC basketball action after these brief messages.
Ma'am, excuse me. Could you help me, please? Sir, could you help me, please? My little girl, she needs blood. Could you help me?
I'm sorry.
Somebody, please. My daughter, she needs blood. Could you please help? Somebody help me.
Imagine if you had to ask for blood to save the life of someone you love. Next time the American Red Cross asks, give blood, please.
We're back, and as we called, I figured that University of Indianapolis would apply a little bit of full court pressure, hoping to get a quick turnover and a quick bucket. That's about the only way they can get back in this ballgame. If they don't get a turnover here, I think IPFW has it wrapped up anyway. But
well, I think for them to get back in the ballgame, they also need a technical foul, a foul on a three-point shot, and an intentional foul.
And there's going to be a foul on Sandy Hare, and yay, Jamie LaRue will go to the line again tonight.
Well, the youngsters done good, I think. Take a look at that again as Jamie breaks the pressure. Now, what are we seeing here? This is the last possession by the Lady Greyhounds.
That was a basket by Courtney Sands.
And here's Jamie LaRue at the stripe.
And she got both of those. So LaRue so far with
playing
7 points and playing very well. A lot of pressure, dribbles right through him, shows like an experienced lead guard. Amy
that was
Hogan
a pass.
Shoots an
That
air
was
ball.
a pass. Give the assist to Amy Hogan on that play.
Okay, Michelle Conley gets one. And a steal by Amy Hogan. She's just going to hold it up, and that's it for game number 1 here this evening, 94-76. And it was a good ball game for IPFW as they beat the University of Indianapolis. And I'll be down on the floor very shortly here with our Dandy down to the game. And for now, I'll leave it up here with Steve, and he can wrap up a little bit of the final second half.
Well, great night for Lisa Miller. Once again, as we mentioned, she set the all-time NCAA Division II single-season free throw record when she hit her 6th free throw. She was unofficially 13 of 17 from the free throw stripe. 30 points for Lisa Miller. Shelly Sands with 8 points. Pam Edwards, another big night. She had 24, 2 of 3 from the stripe. Amy Hogan with 2 free throws. Dawn Dressler, 10 points in the starting role. Kim Recker with 8. Jamie LaRue, the starting guard tonight because Tina Manier was out with a concussion. Jamie LaRue had 7 points. Michelle Conley with 4. For Indianapolis, Lori Morgan, their leading scorer, held to 4 points, 1 bucket, and 2 free throws. Courtney Sands, though, came up big with 22 points tonight. Melissa Graham had 12, Sandy Hare 10, Sam Fenneman 17, and Leanne Adams with 8. We'll be back with the Dandy Don player of the game after these messages.
This is the increasingly competitive world we live in, and this is the country we want ahead of the competition. These are the people we'll be depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. These are the colleges and universities we're relying on for the people we're depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. So if you want America to stay #1 in the world, do something about it. Give to the college of your choice.
As an athlete, it's especially painful to watch cocaine destroy those around me. How could these heroes with so much strength and discipline fall for cocaine? They thought they could control it. That's the big lie. No one controls cocaine. So don't blame them. Learn from them. If you're using cocaine, get help.
Call 1-800-662-HELP.
You were the first in this family to get into college.
I'm so proud of you.
I can't go, can I? I just can't afford to send you.
I didn't mean to let you down.
I understand. Maybe next year. Maybe.
Hard-working students deserve a chance. Please, support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
There's something spreading in the third world. No one's immune to it. It passes from a mother to her children, from a man to his neighbor, and before long, it affects an entire village. It's called knowledge. Care. We're helping people learn to live without us.
Once again, the Lady Dons a victor tonight. I want to remind you that we at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cablecast of NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost, and your contribution will help defray the production costs that are not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contribution to College Cable Access Center at IPFW. The address 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, zip code 46805-1499. Please make your check out to the Indiana-Purdue Foundation at Fort Wayne and designate it for College Cable Access Athletics. It's time for the Dandy Don player of the game. Let's send it down to the floor, and Christy Walker with today's player of the game.
And welcome down to the floor, and joining me now is our Dandy Don of the game, Jamie LaRue. Jamie, nice game this evening.
Thank you very much.
You're a freshman on this ball club, and tonight you really had an opportunity with Tina Manier getting a concussion last week against Ashland. You get to come out and play as point guard. What's that like?
Oh, I was a little nervous coming into the ball game. We knew that we were going to miss Ty a lot, her ball handling, especially her three-point shooting. And I talked with Coach and Tina a little bit both, and they settled me down and just told me to come out and do what I could do, and that's what I tried to do.
Well, you've played really well so far this season, coming in and out and giving Tina a break, and which has been real helpful for IPFW, being able to go to their bench. What was some of the factors in tonight's game? You guys really came out tough, and then things got a little slow there in the second half of the first half.
We came out and we were ready to play basketball. We talked about it a little bit in the locker room, and we knew we were going to have to come out and get going right away. And our offense just clicked real well, and we got some things going. And in the end of the first half and in the beginning of the second half, we just slowed down a little bit, and I think maybe we relaxed. But we came back, and we played our ball game.
You really played well tonight. We had unofficially you for 7 points from the field and 3 or 4 from the free throw line. And what can you see after tonight's ball game that you really need to work on?
Probably making myself more available for a shot. I came in and we had, like I said, we had Tina, who's our shooter, and Lisa Miller, and she drives, and we got Shelly and Pam real strong inside. So I basically am a ball handler, and I tried to handle that best as I could, and I think I'm just going to have to work on my shot a lot and see what I can do with that.
Well, we could see the ball handling tonight. You did a fine job with that, and I'm really happy that you could join me here this evening.
Thank you very much.
And that was Jamie LaRue, and we're going to send it back up top to Steve, and he'll finish up this ball game. IPFW wins this one. Back to you, Steve.
Okay, once again, the final 92-76, I think. They took the score down off the board, but the Lady Dons, a victor. Want to remind you the last live women's basketball game broadcast will be this Saturday at 6 o'clock as the Lady Dons take on Northern Kentucky University. But coming up next, after How to Move America, we've got the Mastodons and the Greyhounds. More great IPFW basketball action, so don't go away. We'll be right back.